Full Throttle on this Tuesday, December 19th, 2025. Who knows what day it is? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey guys, we're just gonna hang out here for an hour, talk about movies, talk about fun things. Today, the topic is better rapper or better actor? Because there's so many actors. I think it's like the greatest plan in the world to become an actor after you've had a successful career as a rapper. I think that's the most important thing you should do. I think you're like, okay, I'm gonna get out of this whole situation that I'm in. Maybe I'm like in a bad socioeconomic area, and then I'm gonna learn to do some rhymes. I'm gonna do some poetry. I'm gonna spit fire. I'm gonna like throw down some verses. I'm going to say hello. I'm gonna state my name and purpose. You ever notice how every rapper states their name and purpose? Hello, I'm Joe, and I'm here to say. That's what you do as a rapper. You do that until you get out of the muckety muck. And then you end up in the public eye. And then you become an actor. You become a comedian. You do that afterward. It's the retirement plan. The successful retirement plan for a successful gangster rapper, I think. Just ask Ice Cube. Just ask everybody. What's up, Angie? Just ask Ice-T. Just ask all the Ice variations. Ice, you gotta be cold. My name is Ice, Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice, so ironically, has like the softest. He's soft serve Vanilla Ice cream. He's got like the softest rapper name. Yo, I'm Vanilla Ice. You couldn't get any more non-threatening than that, could you? What kind of gangster rap is that, Vanilla Ice? What's his name? What's Vanilla Ice's real name? It's like Robert Van Winkle. And I only know that because Jim Carrey acted like Vanilla Ice, and it was the most hilarious thing of all of the 90s. But first, throttlers. You, throttler, sitting there. Iced coffee. Hey, Lori3040. Welcome, nice to see you. I'm very happy. I went to the beach yesterday. I've got like... I couldn't be more like beach looking right now. I should just put my boogie board in the background. Gotta start off on a sad note today, though. It's kind of a bummer. Grant Imahara from Mythbusters. You guys remember that show, Mythbusters? Grant Imahara passed away, I guess suddenly, from a brain aneurysm, which is super sad because that dude was always so likable. He was so nice. He was such a, every time I watched that show, I didn't know him personally, but I have a lot of friends who knew him personally. So, my Instagram and my Facebook feeds are like lots of pictures of Grant Imahara today. And it's really sad because that dude was like such a nice, likable dude. I always thought he was the dark horse of the Mythbusters. I thought that whenever I'd watch the show, he was kind of, I don't know if he was the B team Mythbusters, because it was like Adam and Jamie were the main Mythbusters, and then Grant and Carrie and that other guy, they were like the B team Mythbusters, but Grant was always like the dark horse of the show. And yeah, and Kelly Preston also, we have to mention. Thank you for reminding me, Lori, because I had yesterday off. I should mention Kelly Preston also passed away, which is very sad. It was a very private battle that she was having with breast cancer, and so it's kind of a shock to the public to see that she's just suddenly gone like that. She was great. I always had a crush on her, especially in like Twins and stuff. There was also a movie in the 80s called, what was it called? It had Ari Gross, and she played a Russian in that, but like a Russian spy. Russian movie. I'm gonna Google that so that I could have. And she was just always a stalwart. She was always The Experts, 1989. If you go watch this movie called The Experts, was it The Experts? Yeah, Kelly Preston. That's the movie that John Travolta and Kelly Preston met on. Actually, that's what it says here. But I remember watching that movie with Kelly Preston, and I just thought, I don't know. She was just like the consummate movie star. She was always in movies forever. And since I was a kid, and she was always very glamorous, and it's very sad to see her go. So I'm gonna pour one out to cheers to Kelly Preston, even though she might have been in that cult of Scientology with John Travolta. You can't blame them. I mean, you could blame Scientology for being weird, right? About ragged people. But it's very sad. So, Grant Imahara from Mythbusters and Kelly Preston gone way too soon. Both, I guess, around the same age. Both at 49, 48, 49. All right, well, you know, we're counting down the clock, aren't we? Everybody, just remember, every day is just another day closer to your death. Cheers. Hey, everybody, I'm still flying high, watching Hamilton every day. I like Hamilton. Guys, you gotta understand, people sit there and tell me, they go, I don't like musicals. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't like musicals either. Now, I bring this up because today's show is about rappers who are also actors. And I also bring it up because I just can't stop watching Hamilton. Also, oh, yes, Angie, before I move on any further, yeah, that's also very serious. They found Naya's body in Ventura County in the lake. Good golly. That cast of Glee is cursed. I'm very sad about that cast from Glee. I don't know what's going on there, but we got one guy who killed himself, which was fine with me because he was a pedophile. So yeah, you can go ahead and kill yourself. I don't really feel too bad about that, actually. Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, dude was like a pedophile. He was convicted of like pedophilia and stuff. So and then he killed himself. I was like, okay, cool. But then there was the other guy, Corey Monteith. He died very sadly. Drugs killed him. Drugs are a scourge on our society, ladies and gentlemen. Drug addiction, opioid addiction. This is a problem that needs to be addressed. And there are other societies that do address it in a constructive way. They legalize it and give you actually like healthy, clean heroin for people who are addicted. And then they wean you off of it, and then they put you back into the workforce, and it actually works like 71% of the time, as opposed to like 4% of the time here, which is we just incarcerate people who are drug addicted, and it's not the way to go. It's like putting people in jail for having diabetes. It's not really the smartest way to approach addiction. It's like, oh, you've got cancer? We're throwing you in the slammer. Someone is suffering here and probably needs actual medical attention. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was 57, but she looked no older than probably 39. I'm talking about Kelly Preston. They found her oh my God. They found her on the 7-year anniversary of Corey Monteith's death. Let's all just take a deep breath. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened yet. I guess they're going to find out what happened with Naya. But, you know, I'm glad her son is okay. Because that could have been really bad. But, you know, accidents happen. You had Grant Imahara died of just a brain aneurysm. So maybe, you know, Naya was swimming and she hit her head, or Naya was swimming and she just passed out for some reason or another. She had, you know, nobody knows. I guess they'll investigate and find out what happened. They'll do an autopsy and whatnot, but anything could have happened. She could have hit her head on the boat trying to come up and then knocked herself out. And what are you going to do? I'll tell you what, just, count your days, your blessings, I guess they call them. Count every day and say, hey, this is a good day. Let's be careful. Let's take it day by day. One day at a time, just like the TV show. Veronica, my sister, says, you weren't on yesterday, so you would schedule off. Your fault for me. Oh, well, yeah. It's my fault that you are late today, Veronica. I was at the beach. I was relaxing. I was maxing and relaxing, cooling, chilling or cooling. That's what I was doing outside of the schooling. Ron asks, good question, Ron. How did the audition go? It went ridiculously. It was good. Ron is asking that because the other day they were asking us to file in and out of an audition room over at this audition place. It was a commercial for, I'll just say it was a commercial for a beer company. Because, beer. I look like a guy who likes beer. You're a guy that you could sell me a beer. If I saw you drinking a beer, it would make me want to drink a beer. That's what people said when they saw my picture. They were like, how do we sell more beer? Look at this guy. This guy looks like he could hand you a beer, then you could have a beer with him. But I had to sing and dance. I had to do like a number from a musical, and it was ridiculous. And I sang and danced all around here because they made me do it. And because I was hesitant to go into an audition place because Los Angeles and the whole country is at an all-time high for COVID positive infections. So I was like, hey, you guys, I know you want to open things up, but if you look at the map if you look at the graphs from April, and I know there's more testing. This is what the president, I think, means, even though he's an idiot. He's like, you get more results, positive results, when you do more testing. And it's like, well, yeah, but there's also a higher death rate, and there's also a higher positivity rate. So if you're testing more, and now it's a larger percentage of those tests are positive, you know that it's accelerating through the population. So I took this into consideration, and also the latest news from the World Health Organization was like, hey, I don't know. That's what the World Health Organization came out to. The statement was this. They took they were like this. We here at the World Health Organization say, so I followed those directions and asked I asked my agent if I could just audition from home. Why not? Because I'm going to go to a place, go into a room, take off my mask. That was part of the audition. And then sing a song of sing a song of Mike Pence. And then I was like, no, guys, the World Health Organization threw their hands in the air the other day, and I'm with them. So my agent said, okay, well, we'll ask them if you could do it from home. Because all I would do is go there and stand in front of a camera anyway. And then they would record it and then send it off to the producers from the commercials. So I was like, why can't I do that from here? You just record it from here and then send it to the producers. And the commercial takes place, it's filming outside. Because they were like, well, if you get the commercial, are you going to do it? And I'm like, yeah, it takes place outside. That's cool. Probably there'll be better conditions to work in. And you ask how the audition went. It was fine. It was fine. I don't know. I was a jackass. I tried to be a jackass as much as possible. And then the guy on the other side, because it was a Zoom, face-to-face Zoom audition, he had a face mask, like a plexiglass mask on and a mask. And I was just going, I was thinking to myself, looks like you're having a lot of fun. Anyway. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay away from each other. Hi, Tatiana. How are you? Oh, I would look like I saw you would make it want to listen to At the Drive-In or Mars Volta. Or, by the way, Ron Pertee, Cedric Visala Versaces, and Cedric and Omar Rasputin. I forget his whole name. Cedric and Omar from the Mars Volta. They also have another band called, get this, it's probably not the best name to have for a band right now, but they have another band called Anti-Mask. So check out that band. They're really good. I couldn't be more Hawaiian looking right now. That's Greg's act. I'm not stealing that. But that's a shout out to Greg Benson, who's got his ukulele always available. Greg Benson invited me back on the show. We're going to do August 2nd. We're going to watch Beastmaster 2. So watch that. Beastmaster 2. I've only seen the first Beastmaster, but Mark Singer, Greg Benson, and I will all get together in one form or another and watch Beastmaster 2, except for Mark Singer won't be there. And we get to make fun of it. You guys remember Beastmaster with the ferrets? That's a ferret. That's a ferret. Yeah, guys. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. I'm excited to do that. It's going to be fun. But Ron, good to see you here. I hope your hand is on the mend. I hope you didn't smack any more bees on your way out of the hospital. I hope you didn't get stung by anything else. Don't step on a snake. Watch out. Watch out for the rattlesnakes. But Condyland, apparently there's a lot of debris at the bottom of the feet that have gotten tangled in. Oh, Jesus, God. Good golly. That makes sense. Oof. Oof. Now, Condyland, obviously, I'm going back on these comments and reading about Naya Rivera. She might have gotten caught at the bottom from... That's just really sad. That's frightening. That's just frightening and sad. It's affecting me. It's affecting everyone. Everyone's feeling sad right now because too young. 33, 49, 57. All too young. Is that the 3 we're getting? They say it happens in 3s, right? Oddly enough, the director of Beastmaster is the same guy who directed Phantasm. Wow, that is oddly enough. That is super odd. Beastmaster was funny because they had those things that would wrap around you and go like this. So in Beastmaster, it takes place in a mythological other dimension, I guess. And it's got Mark Singer in like a Speedo, and he's just like got his muscles out, and he's like, I'm Mark Singer from the TV series V. You guys might remember me. I played a reporter, always inquisitive. So he was like in that, and he could like talk to like a tiger. He was like the tiger whisperer. He could talk to animals. He's basically Dr. Dolittle from, I don't know, Westeros. I don't know, some other mythological land. And he would say, these are my ferrets, guys. Mark Singer would not, he'd be the weird guy, you know, who brings the ferrets to the party. And you're like, hey, Mark, come on. You know, those are illegal in like many states. Can you put them in the car or something? Mark brought his ferrets again. God damn it, Mark. The ferrets always get into the punch bowl and the water. They eat all of the watermelon. Goddamn ferrets. Ah! They poop everywhere. They smell. They smell like weasels. You know they're weasels, right, Mark? You're walking around with weasels, and skunks are also weasels. Mark. That's why Mark doesn't come to the parties anymore. You know, and they made a sequel to Beastmaster. And they did the best thing you could possibly do with a sequel to Beastmaster, is they did one of those things where they make him go through a portal. Very much like man. And it's a fish out of water, literally, because he's a Beastmaster. And the Beastmaster's walking around in his Speedo in New York City and be like, uh-oh, this is not my dimension. What am I going to do with my ferrets? They're illegal in so many states. So Mark Singer from the Beastmaster. That's what we're going to watch. That's the point of my story. We're going to watch Mark Singer bring his freaking ferrets to the party. Nobody wants a ferret at the party. They are cute, though. They can swim. Oh, my God. Nelson Mandela's daughter died, too. Oof. What are we doing? That's 4. We got to start a whole new 3 now. Good golly. Rip Torn was the big bad in Beastmaster. Yeah, Angie, I agree. Ferrets are cute and very smart. But, you know, they do smell. And they poop all over themselves. But, Mark Singer trained him up. He's going to steal. He trained him to, like, steal stuff. They're like Apu from Aladdin. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. These look like big, strong ferrets, don't they? Yeah. F 2020. This is the year we're skipping. I'm skipping this year. We're just going to have fun. We're going to hang out. This is like just 2020. Stay sealed up in a box because nothing good's going to happen. All right? This is the best thing that's going to happen for 2020. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Am I right? Ron's over here getting stung by bees. Ron, watch out. It's 2020. Just make it to December 29th, the last day of the year. Because screw the last 2 days. Who needs 30th and 31st? It is 2020.5. We're halfway through. We could do this, Ron. Don't get killed by bees or anything. Or snakes. Yes, Ron, we were talking about Grant at the top of the show. You can watch the reruns of the show on Twitch and on YouTube because they broadcast. They are broadcast and saved on the channel, so you can check them out. However, I will start keeping them up for about 2 weeks and then moving them over to the Patreon, because if you guys want to support this channel on Patreon, you can do so by pledging $1, $2, $5, $10, $100 a month to my Patreon, and then that way we can continue to talk about ferrets and bee stings. Because, you know, that was my chair, but I hope you guys heard that because it was a good sound effect. You know, we gotta be careful. I think that's what this year is teaching us. Just be careful. Even people who are trying to avoid any kind of harm or injury are getting, I don't know, Naya, sadly, it's just so sad. She got caught up in the water. She went swimming. She just wanted to go swimming. Can't even go swimming. Just wear your floaties, people. This is scary. It sounded like that. Sure did. I'll reproduce that sound. I won't. Yeah, it's just we're living at a time. I'm going to check out these trends right now. Let's look at the trends, shall we? Let's see what we can avoid. Plan C. Burger King is trending. Why is Burger King trending? Yeah. Imagine, Rod just brought up a funny point. What if this year just doesn't end? What if it's like December 32nd, December 33rd, December 34th, and we're just like, good golly, will 2020 ever end? Ooh. Burger King has added lemongrass to their cows. I wonder if that affects the taste of them. I don't eat cows or to eat animals, but you gotta make sure that your cows are eating lemongrass. Apparently. Lemongrass is really good for you. Supposedly it's a superfruit. You have to grow a garden of lemongrass every time. You ever go to the store and then they have that thing? I don't know how, like, hippy dippy fruity. Like, if you look like me, then, you know, you're a hippie. I think. I don't identify as a hippie, but I would be identified in the lineup as a hippie for sure. If they were like, which one of these is a hippie? I would say that this guy is. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. I'm a vegetarian. And then, I don't know. I'd fire myself. Turns out you go to California and what happens? You turn into a hippie. What's up, Chris? Welcome. Cheers. Nice to see you. I'm just talking about peace and love and happiness and everybody should all get along. Super hippie. Yeah. No, I'm a metalhead, guys. Listen, this is the song, this is my music right here. So what I'm gonna do is grow one of them long metal beards, like one of those like metal artists. It'll be like, yeah, now like my hippie beard has turned into like one of them heavy metal beards. Maybe like hippie depends on the face you make. If I was like this, you'd be like, that's a hippie. And if I was like this, you'd be like, oh, that's a metalhead. Am I right? Yeah. Anyway, That's if you like aggressive music. Sorry, I was young and I was angry. I started to watch the movie the other day. However, was that the movie that you put in the Discord? Because I did start watching a Korean movie the other day. If that wasn't the movie, put the link, Chris, into the Discord. I'll put the Discord link in here so everybody can join. If you're not a part of the Discord, I will put the invite here. I will invite people to the Discord so that we can create harmony. You get it? Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get this invite. And, here. Copy. Ah, it's a Japanese movie. Yes, I did start watching it. Sorry, I assumed it was Korean. That was my fault. I did start watching it. It was interesting. I will finish watching it, Chris. I watched about half an hour of it. It was cool. It was getting pretty interesting. But I wasn't sure that I was watching the right movie. So I will finish watching it. But thank you for the recommendation. Let's see. So join the Discord and then remember to drop links in there and drop all of the shared info in there, and then we could all kind of enjoy it and discuss it. Today's topic, though, if we, I want to get back to this, stay on message here. Rappers. Rappers delight. There are so many actors who are rappers. There are so many rappers who are actors. Some, I want to like go down a list, and we could say whether or not they should be more of a, like, I don't know. I don't think we should judge it too much, but some of your favorite rappers and who are good actors now, or maybe like they're better actors than rappers, or better rappers than actors. I don't know. There's some like Queen Latifah. She's been acting since the 90s. She's in so many movies. She's in Bringing Down the House with Steve Martin's. Let's see. So there's also Ice Cube, Ice-T. What did we have? Vanilla Ice. All of the Ice rappers. Also Tupac. Remember Tupac was in that movie with Janet Jackson. I think the most famous rapper who is also an actor. Guess who the most famous rapper who is an actor is? Let's try to have a, I mean, it's pretty clear, I think. Do you guys want to take a guess at that? But out of actors, who are your favorite? Mine has to be Ja Rule. Because Fire Festival, right? Poetic Justice, that's the movie. That is the movie with Tupac and Janet Jackson. Ice-T is funny. Tatiana, I like that you bring up Ice-T. And I was saying how I want to do the rapper retirement plan. I want to start out as a rapper and then retire on like NCIS for 20 years and just do like, show up and be like, oh man, this guy, he's a sick killer. I'm going to catch this guy. And then just kind of mail it in like Ice-T might be doing. I don't know. I haven't watched the show, but I think that Ice-T, Ice Cube or Ice-T, I'm going to say Ice Cube on that one, Ange, because I like the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies, and Ice Cube makes me laugh my ass off in both of those movies, and also the first Friday is probably the best one. But Ice Cube hit me right in the heart when he's like, either they don't know, they don't show, or they don't care about what's going on in the hood. That was good. That was a good movie. Remember Boys in the Hood? Literally, Boys in the Hood is a song. It's an Ice Cube song. It was covered. It was like an acoustic cover, the Boys in the Hood cover. I don't know why Nick Cannon's on this list. Why is Nick Cannon on this list? Jamie Foxx more of a singer. Right? Mariah Carey, she's not a rapper. What? What kind of... Busta Rhymes, listen, Busta Rhymes is from where I went to college. He's from Uniondale, Long Island. Busta Rhymes. I met Busta Rhymes one time, and he was like, "I got you all in check." And I was like, "What was that, Mr. Rhymes? Do I call you Busta? Do I call you Mr. Rhymes?" And he's like, and I was like, "Okay, well, can I take your lunch order? I'm just a PA." And he was like, "Ha ha ha, wah wah." I was like, "Listen, I don't speak rap. I don't understand you. I don't speak rhymes. Are you related to Leanne Rhymes? Because you have the same last name." And he was like, "She's my little sister." Wah. Busta Rhymes. Thank you. Let me see if I can play the... I got you all in check. But Mr. Rhymes was nice. He was driving a tangerine Lamborghini, as you do. He's from Long Island, though. He is another Long Islander. That Busta Rhymes. He hung out with the cast. I was watching the extras on the Hamilton movie. I know I'm talking about rap, and then also, in the same breath, I'm talking about a musical. But I tell you, Hamilton is a great piece of art. It is a work of art, and it has many, many layers to it. And people are like, "I don't like musicals. I don't like musicals." And I'm like, okay, here's the difference between liking a musical and whether or not you like Hamilton or not. Because it is a musical, yes. But it's probably literally the best musical that's ever been created, because musicals have kind of always... I get why people don't like them, right? Hamilton is hip-hop, it's rap. It's also so layered. It is so incredibly layered, and it's the most action movie. It's an action movie of a frickin' musical. It's like Les Mis kind of is. It's about the revolution. It's about the American Revolution. It revolves around the American Revolution. And so does Les Mis. It's like the French Revolution. So why isn't there one about the American Revolution that we can enjoy? And it is the best one. So here's why it's the best. Freaking Hamilton. It's like when people say they don't like musicals, and therefore they will not try Hamilton. I'm like saying, it's like saying, "Here, try this slice of New York pizza," and people are like, "I don't like pie." And I'm like, "You don't like pie?" And they're like, "Yeah, apple pie, pecan pie, key lime pie." And I'm like, "Yeah, but this is a pizza pie." And they're like, "Nah, I don't like pie. So I will not even..." It's a different thing. It's just just try it. "No, but it has the word pie in it, so therefore I don't like it and I can't do it." I just told myself that. I told myself I can't like it because it's a pie. Law and Order. Ice-T. I don't know if Ice-T. I don't know if Ice-T is on Law and Order. Does anybody know? Ice Cube has fantastic comic timing and presence. Yeah, Ice Cube makes me laugh every time I roll on the floor laughing. IROFL. ILMFAO. And not just because of the way I look. Some of you will get that joke. Some of you will just be like, he's just doing that thing again where he says things and I don't know what he's referring to. But if I just say enough random things, someone's going to get it. Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection. Yes. I have a friend, Billy Kay, was in that movie, Halloween Resurrection. He was also in LIE. That's why I know him. There's a movie called LIE that I worked on when I was a kid. Yeah, see, Tatiana got it. Thank you. Exhibit. Remember? We're gonna pimp my ride. Remember Exhibit? How about Machine Gun Kelly? I thought he was pretty good as Tommy Lee. Did you guys watch that one? The Dirt on Motley Crue. It was pretty good. It looked like big, strong dirt. Kanye West, he's not even, I don't know. He's kind of, what is Kanye West besides the Republican candidate? Not Republican, the birthday party candidate. Sorry, guys, on Instagram. Sometimes the internet does not cooperate, and it'll pause every now and then. Well, Chris, I will tell you the thoughts on my movie tomorrow or the next day when I finish watching it. But thank you for the suggestion. I will watch it. Bust it in Finding Forrester. Yeah, Candyland, we did not mention Eminem yet from 8 Mile. That was actually a pretty good performance. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see. Is that something? Sounds like it, right? His palms are sweaty. He's vibing on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He keeps on writing down, but keeps on forgetting. There's no Mekhi Phifer. There's no Mekhi Phifer. Guess what Mekhi Phifer has to say about that? Mekhi Phifer is like, listen, bro, there isn't Mekhi Phifer. It's kind of crazy because 8 Mile, Eminem, excellent. Period. That is an excellent movie, and it's an excellent performance from Eminem being Eminem, because this, people say it's really, well, he's just playing himself, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's not easy. It's not easy to do that, but he did a great job in that. And that's like the only role he's ever, I think he's been in other things, but that was really good. I really thought that was great. But, it's been forever since we've gotten anything out of, when has LL Cool J's last album been? When are we going to get a new album from LL Cool J? We still haven't talked about the most obvious one, the biggest rapper, who is also the biggest celebrity. His celebrity is way bigger than his rapping career. Yes, Candyland, you nailed it. Will Smith. Will Smith is probably the biggest rapper ever. And I always thought he was funny because a lot of people gave him crap for like being like the family-friendly rapper, but I don't know. I enjoyed his stuff, because parents just don't understand. I remember that every bit of that line, every bit of that song. Parents are the same no matter time or place. They don't understand us kids are going to make some mistakes. So to you all the kids all across the land, take it from me. Parents just don't understand the movie Wild Wild West because it was bad. Parents didn't want to take their kids to that. Jaden Smith is on this list. Why is Jaden Smith on that list? I feel like a Jaden Smith tweet about him being on this list would be like, why is even Jaden? Because you ever read Jaden Smith's tweets? They're so deeply philosophical. Why is Twitter? Well, Jaden, thank you for elucidating. I've seen Jaden Smith around town. I think if you're in Los Angeles, it's prerequisite to see Jaden Smith at least once or twice a day. He's just everywhere. Have you seen Tokyo Godfathers? It's a good anime. I'll check it out. He wasn't Entourage as himself. Bow Wow, Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow changed his name to Bow Wow. I'm a man, but I'm also 5 feet tall, so I'm going to call myself Lil Jon, which made sense. It was congruous with his appearance, and he would say, okay. Lil Jon, do you mind just keeping the name Lil Jon? Yeah. Will you come over here, please, Lil Jon? We need you to sign some papers. Okay. Man, I can't get enough of that Dave Chappelle stuff. Dave Chappelle with Lil Jon. Ludacris is also on this list. Yeah, Ludacris. He's pretty good. He is just hilarious to the point of absurdity. Ludacris is. The rapper Ludacris is so funny, it's almost like incredulous. It's outside of the realm of believability. That's how funny he is. I'm talking about Ludacris. I like how rappers get their names because it's some iteration of their name. Like LL Cool J. Ladies Love Cool J. His birth name was Ladies Love J. And then he just put the cool right in the middle. I'm pretty sure. Andre 3000. That's a good one. Andre 3000 was Jimi Hendrix in a movie recently. Except they couldn't play the Jimi Hendrix music because they were like, this Jimi Hendrix music is too recognizable. Ludicrous is ridiculous. You know, that is funny. That is funny, Rod. Ludicrous is just absurd. Absolutely absurd. To beyond the point of... All right, I've driven that joke into the ground. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is on this list. That's legitimate. 50 Cent was just in a movie I watched recently called Den of Thieves. If you haven't seen Den of Thieves, it's actually just a really good meat and potatoes cops and robbers movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Check out that movie called Den of Thieves. It's got Jerry Butler. I call him Jerry. Some people call him Gerard. But Jerry Butler is in it. 50 Cent is in it. And it's quite good. I enjoyed it. If you like it, just a general kind of... Also, Ice Cube's son is in there. And Crushed Ice, I think his name is. Oh, there's an earthquake. Everything's falling apart. Ice Cube's son is also in Den of Thieves. Speaking of rappers and tangentially related and literally related rappers, Crushed Ice is in that movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, the White House is continually trying their campaign to discredit me as a scientist and as an alien creature from an unknown origin. I am Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci. It's nice to see you. I hope that you guys are washing your hands and staying far apart. And, I don't know. I really don't understand. This country is doing the worst at pandemics. We're the worst at pandemics. We're responsible for 1/4 of the deaths from COVID-19. Yet we are not 1/4 of the Earth's population. It is many times more than our share of deaths due to this pandemic. So please, hop inside an Imperial cruiser or an X-Wing and fly far, far away and exile yourself to Dagobah or Akshu. Excuse me. You need to go to the planet Akshu. Sorry, just to stay away. Stay isolated during this time if you can, as much as possible. If you do have to hang out with other people, just wear like a helmet, like a Darth Vader helmet, or maybe a Kylo Ren helmet, something to just protect your droplets. We gotta watch out for droplets, okay? Fomites in the air. All right, I'm just kind of like losing faith. You know what I'm saying? My lack of faith. I find my lack of faith disturbing, is what I'm saying.
Thank you, Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci. I do too. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Thank you for the update on Angel. I figured he's had some kind of name. I find it interesting when actors or people who have a stage name and then their kids take their parents' stage name, like the Sheen family, because Martin Sheen was born. See, the actor Martin Sheen was born Estevez. He's Irish and he's also Hispanic. I say Hispanic. I put a ch on the end. His name was Ramon Gerard Antonio Estevez. That was Martin Sheen's birth name, but then Hollywood, and he said, "I'll be Martin Sheen," which is it is a much catchier, it's a quicker name, and so some of his kids, like Charlie Sheen, took on the Sheen name, and Emilio Estevez. But Charlie Sheen was born Carlos Estevez. And that's a beautiful name, Carlos Estevez. Carlos Tiger Blood Estevez. He was born that, and he just changed his name to Charlie Sheen to try to go with his father's choice of a stage name. Weird, right? Master P. Master P is a good one. Oh, hell yeah, Master P. I remember Master P. If you've ever seen Badlands with Martin Sheen, it's great. Oh, Martin Sheen is a phenomenal actor. Let's not mince words here. I'm just making fun of his name. He's a great classic actor. American, Spanish, Irish actor. Very, very, very cool. And, his kids are too. I mean, you guys remember Men at Work? You guys remember Young Guns? Come on now. You guys remember Tiger Blood? You guys remember... I actually saw Charlie Sheen in concert. I went and saw the Charlie Sheen thing. Oh, the RZA. RZA's good too. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang ain't nothing to mess with, I'll say. We're gonna edit it here. RZA also did the soundtrack for Kill Bills 1 and 2, which were amazing. Now Joe Estevez on the other hand. Joe Estevez, I don't know who Joe Estevez is. Who's Joe Estevez? Estevez. Badlands. Oh, I'm going to put that on my list. Is Joe Estevez like Martin Sheen's brother? Because he looks like he's got that the classic Estevez look. Ramon Estevez. There's so many Estevezes. Even Emilio Estevez. And Rene Estevez. Yes, I see him here. Martin Sheen's brother. Yeah, sometimes, you know, it skips a generation. Sometimes it skips a family member. Sometimes you got talent, and someone else has a different type of talent. Everybody's got their own potential. Redman is also a good actor. Eve. Has Missy E ever been in anything? Because I feel like Missy E would be like, you know, something she'd be entertaining. Well, Mos Def, I think, is a phenomenal actor. Mos Def is really, really good. Like, I think he might be the best. I mean, Will Smith is also like Oscar nominated, also rapper, and Drake. Oh, you can't forget Drake. Drake was on the Canadian show, the Degrassi show. I grew up watching all those Degrassis, guys. Just a little insight into my growing up. I would watch PBS for my entertainment. I don't know what you guys watch. Maybe you're a little fancy HBO, but I had PBS. We had HBO too, but I had PBS, and I liked watching Canadian programming from the CBC. And one of the shows was Degrassi Junior High, and then Degrassi High. And it was funny because they had to alter this theme song. It was like, when you wake up in the morning feeling down, I gotta go to school. And then it'd go like, Degrassi Junior High. And then when the kids got older, they had to go to high school. So they changed the last part. It was like, when you wake up in the lonely, gee, I gotta go to the school. And then they had to change the phrasing at the last bit, and it would go, Degrassi High. Instead of Degrassi Junior High. It got rephrased to Degrassi High. Anyway, that's a musical thing. It's weird. Just like catches my ear different. Donald Glover. Can't forget Donald Glover. He's fun. Nicki Minaj. Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi was on one of my favorite shows, Comedy Bang Bang, for a while, which was weird because he replaced Reggie Watts on Comedy Bang Bang, and Reggie Watts was so integral in the Comedy Bang Bang show that it was so weird to see him try to do that part, but he did a pretty good job, except he didn't like to be as nutty as Reggie Watts was. Arthur. You guys talking about Arthur on PBS? I'm going to do this. You guys are talking about Arthur. It's going to make me want to go like this. That's an inside joke for anybody who likes memes. If you like memes out there. Anyway. Mary J. Blige, she's an incredible singer. I wouldn't say that she's an actor, though. I mean, not an actor, rapper. I don't know what Mary J. Blige is in. But she's an incredible singer. I'm looking at this list over here. I got to see Mary J. Blige at like a promotion thing, and she sang like 4 songs because it was just a corporate event. She came out and just like blew everyone's hair back. I was like, what? How does someone sing that good? And then she was like, I'm going to go over here now. I was amazed. At the job, working the internet. Yeah, you got the good internet. He's like, I'm going to go to work, get the good internet. Get the T1 connection, right, Will? You know what I'm talking about, Will? You got that T1 connection? Is that when Reggie Watts went to the house to band for James Corden? Angela Bassett, but I don't know if Angela Bassett, is she a rapper though? She did play Tina Turner. What about actors who played rappers instead of rappers who are actors? How about that? I'm saying like people who would deliberately like set up their career to be well known as a rapper, or also just some people who have notoriety in both fields as a rapper and an actor. And I think Will Smith has like met them. I mean, a lot of people think his stuff is cheesy, but he's probably had the most hits. Think about it. Here come the man in black. I like how Will Smith's formula was always, let's get a disco song that was really popular in the 70s. And then instead of saying like, down, 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 this was a page out of Sean Puffy Combs, Sean Combs, Diddy Combs, Sean Puff Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Dadded Puff Combs. It's a page out of his book. I always thought that this was kind of a lame way of approaching writing a hit, was going, in the 90s, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy, P Diddy Combs would be like, okay, this song, Every Breath You Take, was the biggest smash hit of the 80s, and right now it's 1997, so what we can do is just take that song that says, Every Breath You Take, and then dedicate it to my friend Biggie, who got shot to death, and then instead of saying Every Breath You Take, just change those words to, I'll be missing you. I just want to go back and take like every major hit from the past. Bohemian Rhapsody. Instead of Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm going to just say like, it's sunny outside. Am I right? Idris Elba. Instead of taking I Want to Hold Your Hand, I'm going to turn that into I Want to Eat a Sandwich. I want to eat a sandwich. I want to eat your sandwich. Eat your sandwich. We share each other's sandwiches. I think that it's funny that people like rappers, they just like P Diddy. I think he's he takes the cheap back route and just says, like, I'm going to take a song that I know is going to be a hit because it was already proven to be a hit for many years. And I'm just going to say, like, I'm going to just take that song and just change one word and then make it a hit again. Called recycling. P. Diddy stumbled. Yes, and he also did the Kashmir cover. Did-a-dent, 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 did-a-dent. We're so close. We finish each other's sandwiches. That... Kashmir has never sounded more beautiful than on a ukulele. I think it was designed for that instrument. Yeah, like P. Diddy, I mean, it was a hit, but I don't know. I got like mad when people would just take a song that was already popular and then just go, yeah. There's some incredible rappers who have like just changed the game, like Ice Cube and people like that, and Snoop Dogg, and they would sample stuff, which is cool because there was sampling for a while. Was people frowned upon sampling, and then sampling became okay. And I think sampling is okay because you're turning it into a new art form. But when you take just the straight chorus from a song and then change and you interpolate it, it's called an interpolation. When you just take a song and then change the lyrics, and you're like, it's a new song now, right? No, it's not. You're just singing the same tune that catches people's ears. And, I judge that poorly. I judge that negatively. I frown upon that. That was me frowning. If you come over to... Hey, George, what's up, man? If you come over to my house and you do an interpolation of Every Breath You Take, and they just say, I want to eat a steak. Like, every steak I take, every cake I bake, I'm just gonna go, who are you, Weird Al? What is this, a Weird Al song? Sorry guys, it got dark there. Dr. Dre kept his samples within soul and funk. Diddy was a full arena pop rock. Fair enough, Will. I can appreciate the other side of the argument. However, I frown upon it. That's me frowning. Listen, I think Dr. Dre changed the game because he would create original rhymes. You know, LL Cool J had Old English fill his mind, and he would come up with funky rhymes. LL Cool J would write a rock song. Listen, Mama Said Knock You Out, that's a rock song. That's a rap rock song. You know what I'm saying? That's LL Cool J is like a rock rapper. And so was Ice-T. Ice-T had a band called Body Count, and they were a metal band, a heavy metal band, which I loved. Everybody in the band happens to be black. Ice-T was known for rapping, and he's like, listen, I also love heavy metal music. I'm going to sing for a heavy metal band. And I was like, I was a fan of Body Count as a kid because I was like, look at these guys all brown playing guitars and basses and stuff and rapping. I was like, I want to do that. Let me do that too. When there's an example put forward to a little kid and they see that anything's possible, you've given them an opportunity to grow in that direction, which is a good thing, Ice-T. Thank you for that. And when I mix you with orange juice, I call that an Arnold Palmer. Ice-T and O.J. Simpson formed Arnold Palmer. They went golfing together. If you see those two golfing together, you can call that an Arnold Palmer. I don't know why that's funny to me. Just shoot me. You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have you guys get like a gun, like a fake target practice gun, so you could just shoot the screen on your whatever device you're watching this on whenever I make a bad joke, which is every time. Every time.
These look like big dumb jokes, don't they? The nothing.
I need a rock biter puppet. Because I feel weird like doing, like, just look.
Everybody on Instagram, if you would like to continue watching, you can go to twitch.tv. Sorry, let me start that again. Twitch.tv/Aristotle Full Throttle. Otherwise, you can come back tomorrow. But remember to wash your hands first. Or you can just hang out.
Living Color, Cult of Personality. Yes, the Popcorn Passport. Let's get Popcorn Passport's theme song. Let's see. Ready? That's your theme song, Popcorn Passport. It's the same every day. It's exactly the same every day. Every day, it's exactly the pitch perfect, the same song. Well, guys on Instagram, we're just wrapping it up. We've decided that the best rapper / actor, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going with the Twitch cast. So you guys watching on YouTube, you guys watching on Twitch, we're going to continue. But Instagram followers, y'all got about 45 seconds to agree with me on the fact that the best actor / rapper is got to be, well, I'm going to say out of this list, Andre 3000 is pretty good. Mos Def is pretty good. Ice Cube, Queen Latifah. I don't know. The most notable is probably Will Smith. The most notable. He's kind of changed the whole game. He was like, every rap song that he had in the 80s, I had the album DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and he was like, when I become a big movie star. And I'd be like, what? You're not going to be a movie star. And then boy, did he prove me wrong. Anyway, guys, on Instagram, poor connection due to poor connection, and it will not save on Instagram. So you guys can't watch it on Instagram. You got to go to Twitch, or you got to go to YouTube to check these out. It was all heavy metal back to us back then. I remember watching Suicidal Tendencies on Video and Music Box. Yeah, I tell you, I was way into all of the heavy metal. I was way into watching bands like all of the hair metal bands, guys. That was like my first exposure to rock and roll, was watching all of the hair spray, all the hair, and watching bands like Living Color, and seeing Vernon Reid be one of the most like prodigious guitar players ever. If it was in the 80s, and there was a lot of like guitar soloing back and forth. Everybody was trying to show off their guitar solos, and then you got Vernon Reid coming out of nowhere. You got Van Halen coming out of left field. You've got all sorts of guitar players who are just changing the game, changing the understanding of how the guitar is played. And Vernon Reid to this day is still like, you don't understand which planet he's tuned into, but he was one of the sickest guitar players of that era. I mean, there were quite a few sick guitar. Prince is one of the sickest guitar players of the 80s, and people don't even think of Prince that way. It's hard for them to think of him that way, but guys in ZZ Top are like, yeah, Prince is one of the greatest guitar players of the whole 80s, that whole decade. Pretty crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, Popcorn Passport got their own music. Yes, he's got the Willis. He's the williest of the Smiths. Yeah, Big Willie style. That's how Will Smith runs. Is Will Smith Willard? I didn't know that. I thought he was Williams. He was a William. Willard. Oh, Willard Carroll Smith. That is like a distinguished. I'm Sir Willard Carroll Smith Jr. And I think I can beat Mike Tyson. That's what he said. That was the 80s. I'm gonna tell my kids that was Will Smith. I think I can beat Mike Tyson. I am Willard Carroll Smith Jr. And I have it that parents seem to be at a misunderstanding. Our parentage is quite confused by our behavior as young children. I am Sir William Carroll Smith Jr. III. That's Will Smith. Dang, the third. How many Will Smiths get? He skipped over his kid. But now Jaden and or Willow. You know, see what they did there though? They named their son after the mom and the mom after the daughter, and the daughter after the dad. I think that's kind of funny. I think that's kind of cool actually. Willow and Jaden. Pretty I think that's kind of cool and also a little bit narcissistic, to be honest. You'd be like, oh, you know, this is just, you are born in the image of me. I'm just going to name you Aristotle. I'm going to name you Ariel. So all my daughters are going to be named George. Oh, he does have an older son. Yes. I remember because he was in that video. Just the two of us. We gonna make it if you try. That was another interpolation because that was the chorus from Just the Two of Us. Will Smith's only 51. He looks still like he. It's kind of weird. Will Smith is drinking like the anti-aging juice called Black Don't Crack. That's the he's smoking the Black Don't Crack. He looks young. It's funny because Will Smith is hilarious. He orders just a workout trailer. So when he has a trailer on set, he has a trailer, and then he has got his workout trailer. He's like, that's a gym, and then and then there's a music studio. His channel, his YouTube channel is pretty. I should take a few notes from Will Smith because he's always super excited. All right, everybody. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now, sandwiches they taste so good. Man, you could put like anything in the middle of a sandwich. You could put lettuce in a sandwich. He's just always super excited. You could put cheese. Oh man. You could toast that sandwich to it. That's a grilled cheese. Oh. He's always very excited. But that's a quality that I wish I had. That's what I'm jealous of Will Smith. Always being happy about no matter what. I don't know why. Hey guys, why do we care so much about Will and Jaden, about their like relation? Why do we care so much about their relationship? Let's talk about it. Why do we care what they do? What they do. That's what they do. That's their life, right? I don't know why we're trying to bring out their private life into the public, because clearly they have some kind of arrangement in their life, in their style, in their relationship that we all need to know about. Y'all want to know about Will and Jada? Do you guys want to know about that stuff? I'm curious, because to me, I'm like, y'all seem to be like doing the family thing the way you want to do it. You guys doing your relationship thing the way you want to do it. Your kids they're not robbing banks. They seem to be like trying to follow in your footsteps in the entertainment business. Jaden's out there asking, why is even sandwiches? And you're like, Jaden, I don't know, Jaden. I've seen you 5 times today. Don't you have some place to be? I live in Los Angeles, and you've walked by my window 17 times in the last week. I don't understand, Jaden Smith. Why are you everywhere? And he's just like, I'm just trying to find what is even. Let's go to Erewhon. You guys going to go to Erewhon? I've seen him at Erewhon. It's a ritzy. It's a really overpriced grocery store called Erewhon in Los Angeles. And this one is particularly in Calabasas. If you Google Jaden Smith Erewhon, you'll see him wearing like Erewhon hats, Erewhon shirts. He just loves the store because, when you're 17 years old, there's nowhere to hang out except for maybe the grocery store. And I've seen him at that grocery store many times, just like, I mean, what is even plantain chips? And I'm like, Jaden, can I help you? Why are you following me everywhere, Jaden? I got jaded on Jaden. So he's everywhere. I just don't get it. I just don't get why we need to care about what's going on with in their bedrooms. Like, that's them. They're just doing them, right? They're just doing their life. Why I gotta know about it? Shane Dawson. Yeah, let's talk about Shane Dawson, Ron. Let's talk about this stuff. Oh, we're getting into it. We're getting into we're getting into the drama, the YouTube drama. I've got opinions. It's a good sample because it's the most outside the black radio playlists, taking it mainstream and fresh to the masses. Yeah, we're going back to that. Sorry. Catching up here. George Foreman, the 11th. She got involved with a guy that she was mothering. He was recovering from child abuse, etc. That seems to be the upper. Oh, interesting. Well, that adds a new wrinkle to it, doesn't it? To each their own, Lori, 3040. I agree with that. But if you're in some kind of mentoring position, if you're in some kind of position of power, I could see why it's obviously controversial if you cross that boundary. Condyland says, I'm surprised about this myself. I think it's because people thought they were like the perfect couple. Jada coined the term for cheating. The new term for cheating. Like, 100% dedication to one another, sexually, emotionally, on every level. Like, what does that mean? I feel like everybody's got their definition of it, and then everybody assumes what the idea of a perfect couple is, and then they go into a situation just assuming, well, I've got this idea of a perfect couple, so you must have that same idea, and then sometimes it turns into a whirlwind of poop. What did Will say? It's part of the shock value is rumored for years. Tom Cruise. Yeah, guys, let's not forget, Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx are friends. Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx are in how many movies together? They're in Collateral together. Tom Cruise, baby mama, and former girlfriend and former wife is none other than Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes, this was weird because just last year or so, it came out like Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx broke up after a 5-year relationship. And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't even know they were going out. That they were together. I didn't know that. So Jamie Foxx and Katie Holmes was an item. They were an item for 5 years. after the fact, after Tom Cruise was married to Katie Holmes and best friends with Jamie Foxx. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, you know? They could still maintain their friendship. That reminds me of George Harrison and Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton wrote that song Layla about Patty Harrison because he was obsessed with her. He loved Patty Harrison, who was his best friend's wife. And he wrote Layla, and he's like, I want to be with you, Layla. I know your name ain't Layla. I know it's Patty, but Layla just sounds better over this lick. So I'm going to say Layla instead of Patty, but you know who it's about. He's like, you're so vain. You probably think the song's about you. And then he played that riff and he sang that song to his best friend's wife. And then he won her over. And she left George Harrison and then married Eric Clapton. And then years later, Eric Clapton got a divorce from her. And then George Harrison and Eric Clapton were still friends and remain friends. And they actually referred to each other as husbands-in-law because that's a hilarious thing that they did. And they'd still go on tour and stuff. Kind of crazy, right? You never know. August is a jerk. Who's let's see. I'm catching up here. Yeah, this COVID situation, the president did say it was going to be over and it would magically go away. We're still here. I don't like hurting people physically, but I'd hurt Shane Dawson. Ron would like to hurt Shane Dawson. I don't know. Shane Dawson, there's a thing out there. Interesting. Catching up on some of these facts here. Oh, yeah. Jada was in a metal band, Angie. I actually saw her metal band, her Wicked Wisdom. Yeah, I saw them live. I saw them live because I got to crash in 2005, I crashed an Ozfest, and they were on at like 10 a.m., and she came out with her hair like all like froed out, and she sounded like a metal band. I saw them. I was like, there's Jada Pinkett Smith singing in her metal band because she got the time and the money, and she got the time and the money. She could do it. And here's notoriously Ozfest, you used to pay to get onto that tour. Sharon Osbourne created this new model for tours, major tours like that, where she was like, well, it's Ozfest and it's a branded tour, and if you want to get on it, you have to pay me $25,000. So Jada Smith probably ended up on, I mean, they sounded pretty good. They sounded just like a metal band, and I couldn't sing a song of theirs, but I thought, hey, this is like legitimately a band that she's in, and you know, I just don't see her like really promoting it much outwardly. Never tell your best friend how happy your girlfriend makes you. Good point, Popcorn Passport. Yeah, that's true. Eric Clapton did solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That is a very famous Eric Clapton solo. And the song Savoy Truffle was written about Eric Clapton by George Harrison. George Harrison was making fun of the fact that Eric Clapton had bad, rotted teeth out of his head, but he still just loved to eat chocolates and candies. And he said, but you have to down for the Savoy Truffle. You know what I'm talking about. Will's a Beatles fan. Clapton said Prince was best on guitar. Yeah, I agree. Prince was insane. Prince was an insane guitar player. If you ever get to watch him play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Prince play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, do the solo on that. He rips a solo and then throws the guitar away and walks off stage like it ain't no thing. But that dude is an insanely incredible guitar player. Prince, when he played the halftime show at the Super Bowl several years ago, over a decade ago, he came out in the rain, sang Purple Rain in the rain, played a guitar that was not in tune. This is the magical alchemy of Prince. He played a guitar that was not in tune, but he played it in tune. As a musician my whole life, I watched that performance and I'm like, this is a dude who does not care about how physics works. That's how good of a musician he is. He's like, this guitar is getting rained on, so therefore it is getting warped and out of tune and the strings are getting wet. I don't care. I'm going to walk around in 10-foot heels and play a frickin' solo and play it masterfully, even though my guitar is gently weeping. Prince's solo was legendary out there with Tom Petty. Yeah, incredible. Guys, treat yourself to watching Prince play the halftime show, because as a musician, as a performer myself, I watch that and I go, this is otherworldly. This is a guy who does not care that the sky has opened up on him. He does not care that his guitar is out of tune. Music will emanate from this guy's being, no matter what you give him. They always say this, the tone, when the people listen to a guitar solo, they say, oh, that's a really nice tone. Tone does not come from the instrument, it comes from the player. Jimi Hendrix could make this. He could probably play the Star Spangled Banner on this thing, and it would sound otherworldly. I would be like, that would be me. Thank you. Y'all can go home now. Yeah, but Jimi Hendrix could play the Star Spangled Banner on that and blow us all away. He'll blow us all away. That's from Hamilton. You guys got to watch Hamilton. It's gangsta. It's good. People are like, but I don't like musicals. I don't like rap. I don't like history. But do you like action movies? Do you like incredible storytelling? Do you like incredibly nuanced character development? Watch Hamill film. Almost like hearing Billy Joel sing Piano Man or 9 o'clock. Yeah, Billy Joel is also one of those kind of musicians who is just always on. You can't really get that guy off the key. Billy Joel, Paul McCartney, I watched Paul McCartney one time come out and play the bass and sing, and I was like, this guy he cannot mess up. Paul McCartney doesn't know how to make a mistake playing. It's weird. Physics and time, it bends around him like the Matrix. When Paul McCartney's played the music, the world just goes like the physics. Remember when Neo finally becomes the one and he's like, and the whole Matrix just bends around him. That's Paul McCartney when he's playing and singing. It's just like, nothing will stop me. Could you imagine Paul McCartney and Prince in the same jamming together? That would be an unstoppable force meets an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. That would be crazy. Yeah, you gotta take... Prince's family is from New Orleans. Yep. There you go. But, he is famously a Minnesotan. He's famously a Minneapolis dude. Keith Richards is also good. Keith Richards is so good. We talked about Keith Richards the other day. We were like, this guy is incredible. He is just so nonchalant. You watch Keith Richards play, he'll be like perfect feel, perfect groove, and he looks like they're like, Keith Richards, somebody have a cigarette. We need to revive Keith Richards. Do cigarette to mouth resuscitation with Keith Richards. Put a guitar in his hand, somebody. He just rises up. So good. Keith Richards is he should form a band of cats. Meow, 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 meow. Cats. Cats at the Winter Garden Theater. You guys remember Cats? I feel like my head is a bag of cats today. I'm actually very excited. I went to the beach. It was a good time. I had a fun time. I'm sad about these losses that we're taking as a country, as a entertainment field. We're taking some major losses. I don't know. Yeah. I gotta say, just be careful, be safe. Know that maybe things will get better. That's just up to us, really. I think that this is what they should do. We should go on these 3-day at a time COVID behavioral tests. That is, we should say, hey, everybody, for the next 3 days, if everyone's cool and everybody behaves, then we can stay open for another 5 days. And during those 5 days, if everybody's cool and everybody behaves, we'll be open for another 7 days. Otherwise, we have to keep shutting things down. So I think if people are rewarded and penalized in more rapid succession, with just sort of being considerate with one another regarding wearing a mask, keeping a distance, and washing their hands, if we can just keep if things are being monitored and they're like, oh, looks like everybody's doing it, let's stay open for another 5 days. And if people aren't doing it, they're like, shut it down. So that way, I think people will have a better reaction time as to what they can do to help mitigate the spread of this scourge upon our humanity right now. We are suffering great losses. We are responsible for 1/4 of all COVID-19 deaths in the world. The United States. It's crazy. That's crazy. Let's be open for 3 days. Behave for 3 days. Nobody do this, nobody do that. Cool. Now if we 3 days at a time, 5 days, 7 days, and just keep adding to it. And then if something goes wrong, then start again with 3 days. I think that people they'll be more aware. They'll be like, okay, well, I can make it through the next 2 days and actually be cool and not mess things up again. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good idea. It's crazy how yeah, Lori, I'm with you. I don't understand why people are triggered about. It's like, hey, listen, there's a pandemic going on. I'm wearing a mask so that I don't get you potentially sick. Could you please wear a mask so that you don't spread it? And they're like, that's my rights. I don't understand that. People don't say that in a hospital when they're around babies or something. They just wear the mask. I don't understand why people think it's a rights thing. Yeah, Angie, I love that Keith Richards cameo in Pirates 3. I was like, that makes perfect sense. I just liked seeing him all decked out in that stuff. And then didn't he play a guitar in that? He does play guitar in that. It's pretty cool. You can't have Keith Richards in your movie and not have him play guitar. That dude is legend. Treat yourself to this. If you ever watch this documentary from the 80s, Chuck Berry and Keith Richards, guys, it's crazy. Keith Richards did a tour with Chuck Berry in the 80s, just doing like classic rock and roll songs or whatever Chuck Berry's new album was. And Keith Richards is such a disciple of Chuck Berry's that he loves the man. He loved him so much. He had such reverence for Chuck Berry. Like, Chuck Berry, you're my idol. I will do whatever you tell me to do in this band. I will play whatever you tell me to play. And Chuck Berry just beats up on Keith Richards for no reason. Chuck Berry's just rude and mean to Keith Richards, and Keith Richards just takes it. It's kind of crazy, but you see the respect that Keith Richards has for Chuck Berry because it's his hero, and then Chuck Berry just is kind of a jerk to Keith Richards in that documentary, and you're just like, come on, Chuck Berry, this guy loves you. Just let him stop trying to see whose ego is bigger. Stop with the ego stuff. But it's a crazy video. Yeah, Candyland, we don't have the mentality in the United States, and it's not that that it's not baked into us as an idea of a country, Candyland. Like, we distinctly as a country were founded on the ideas of watch Hamilton. Just watch Hamilton. We're very founded on the ideas of we will figure out how to we will create a union that looks after with a central government that can help keep a civilized society going. And, but we are very, very egocentric and individualistic here, which is sad. Wow. Your son left in December and will be back in the U.S. by the end of July. It's a completely different world. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell myself, you know what? This is the new world now. I've got to figure out how to live in it. We all have to figure out how to just do it. For the longest time, I felt like I was waiting for it to be over. I'm just kind of waiting for this to end. And I'm saying, you know what? This is how things are. We have to live in it. We have to figure out how to live in this. And the way we do that is we wear masks and stay 6 feet apart and do the things that we need to do and get the things done that we need to get done. And we follow a strict protocol. I think it does take a while for everyone to catch on to that. And it's going to take a minute for everyone to catch on to that. And we're just going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait for everyone to get on the same page for that. He refused to hire a full-time band. Are you talking about Chuck Berry and Keith Richards? Oh. Wow, he would just hire rando players each show with his monthly show. Oh, wow, that's not cool. That's actually, it's funny you say that, Will, because Ronnie Wood has been playing in the Rolling Stones since 1971 or 1974. Ron Wood has been in the he's been playing tours, every tour with the Rolling Stones. Ron Wood's from Faces, I think, with Rod Stewart and the Faces. Ron Wood was from that band. And then the Rolling Stones put Ron Wood in the band, but did not make him an official member of the band until about 10 years ago. So imagine you're Ron Wood, and you're playing with a band for 35 years. And then they're like, I think you're in. You're in now. We'll put you on the payroll instead of paying you per gig, Ron Wood. Since you've been here for about 35 years, I think you've passed the initiation. That's just rude. Give Ron Wood a chance. That's just rude. Come on. At this point, Ron Wood has been in the Rolling Stones 3 or 4 times longer than they have been a band. Or initially a band. Then he wasn't. He's been in it for 4 times longer than he wasn't in it. And they still just added him to the you passed the audition. Congratulations, Ron Wood. We have a rigorous 35-year auditioning process. You played a couple thousand shows with us. And we've decided as a group, the 4 of us, the 3 of us, I mean, it was a close vote, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Ron. Ron's like, who didn't vote for me? Keith Richards is like, there's only enough room for one guitarist. Charlie Watts is like, I've been here for you the whole time, Ron. Because Charlie Watts is a solid. They're a fun band. I can't wait for the next 40 years of that band, because they're gonna like freeze dry. I mean, he already kind of looks freeze dried, but Mick Jagger, that guy, he is a Rolling Stone. They are true to their name. He will not stop moving around. He just keeps moving around. Start that guy up. I always thought Start Me Up was about, I mean, they're so old, I feel like it's like a defibrillator device. Stop my heart, stop my heart, stop me up. It's literally about defibrillating his heart. Well, guys, I've had a wonderful time with you here today. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you are too. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you. We always have a lively discussion. Today's was particularly fun. I'm all jazzed up because I went to the beach yesterday, and it always recharges me. It makes me feel like Kal-El, and that the beach is my yellow sun. And let's see. Will says they were playing on TV for some tribute or something. Yeah, I saw that. Get turned down and out of the mix. Yeah, sometimes, I did see Aerosmith. I don't know if you're talking. I did watch Aerosmith recently playing on the Grammys, and Joe Perry was just so out of tune because he just couldn't hear himself. I could tell that Joe Perry, sometimes, Will, you might know this too, and y'all who play music live and stuff, You can tell when someone can't hear themselves, and you're like, uh-oh. Because to everyone else, it just looks like they're biffing, that they're wiping out on stage live, and you're going, oh, well, they suck. No, sometimes you just can't hear yourself, and you don't know what is coming out the speaker, and so you're just kind of playing by feel, and if you can't hear yourself, then you're not really playing music. And, yeah, try to avoid watching Aerosmith, the American Rolling Stones, the American Mick Jagger. Try to avoid watching that performance because it's kind of a train wreck. And it's only because you could tell that Joe Perry could not hear his guitar through the thing. You got to support your stream. I know that the Rolling Stones did a cool Zoom party. It was pretty cool. Charlie Watts was playing on like fake drums, but the other guys in the band were really playing. And Mick Jagger was playing guitar and singing. And it was cool to watch. Cool to see those guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to head out. I'm going to play the Popcorn Passports theme song one more time. Thank you. And, we'll play some walking bass lines on the way out the door. We're going to walk on out the door. That's what we say in the music biz. I just made that up. All right, Joe P. Yeah. Will, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Guitar players who are famous actors, too. It's sad. Before I go, it's crazy, right? Fleetwood Mac kicked out Lindsey Buckingham. How do you even do that? Fleetwood Mac kicked out Lindsey Buckingham. That's like the Rolling Stones kicking out Keith Richards. How do you do that? Doesn't make any sense. But it's like... It's very much like Guns N' Roses kicking out Slash, which they realized was a big mistake, huge mistake, and that's why they're all back together again. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Aristotle, Full Throttle, your bro in the know with the fro, and I'll see you tomorrow.